That's it. We are saying goodbye to Defenseless. Let's got some extra credits I gotta spend. Sure, I'll open some of these things up. Keep the gold orbs for whoever inherits the account. But I will go ahead and open an Elite 5. Just in case. Unfortunate. I'm about to start DD2. Should I be scared? No. No. The worst case scenario if you go into DD2 with good characters is it takes a couple of days. The best case scenario is it takes a couple of hours, you know? But yeah, DD2, enough time has passed since the beginning of DD2, since it came out, that there are probably, I'd say, 20 to 30 total characters that are useful in it. And even people who are going to work up their defenders or work up aim, you know, they'll get it done now because level ups can go up and move forward. You know, there's plenty of other options. So, yeah, DD2 is, I've said for a very long time, and I stand by it, Dark Dimension 2 is the beginning of Marvel Strike Force 2.0, because until you... The game has many different facets. At the beginning of the game, you're all about the exploration and the discovery, and oh, look, new characters, and oh, I really like Iron Man, and ooh, Black Bolt or so-and-so is really cool. But when you look at the game post Dark Dimension 2, what you end up with is the understanding of why you play. And it's to be able to play the endgame content, or to be able to figure out how the pieces of this puzzle combine to accomplish certain tasks. In one way, Dark Dimension 2 is an absolutely phenomenal training mechanism for... I don't even know why these are still in my ear. Sorry, guys. Is an absolutely phenomenal training mechanism for teaching you as a player how important it is to prioritize utility, or how good a team can be, or how good characters can work together over anything else. And it does so better than anything else. For example, you can figure out what the absolute best team you have in Arena is. And it's different at every stage of the game. You know, your first Arena team, when you unlock Arena, is probably going to be some combination of characters like Wolverine, Punisher, Medic. Maybe you got lucky and pulled somebody, you know, and then you're going to unlock a character from the calendar, maybe. And you've unlocked a calendar character, and you're like, oh, maybe this character is good. Or maybe you went to a different content creator, maybe to me or somebody else, and they're like, oh, you know, if you start off and you buy this team, you know, you're going to be great off. Like I'd say, you know, buy the AIM team because it's cheap. Maybe you bought the Shield team and you're using that team up. And then you're going to have to change because your team in Arena is going to be great. And then a Legendary is going to come out. And that Legendary could be anybody. It could be Magneto that somebody bought. And all of a sudden you're like, well, all the people who got Magneto, I can't beat them. And you notice that, well, all the investment I put in these characters is bad, because that's basically how Arena breaks out. Arena will always end up being the people who get the new shiny thing first are going to be better than you, and you have to spend resources or time to either overpower it with your characters you do have or something else. Grats Malta, grats Vrak, good to hear it, guys. I like the idea of setting Dark Dimension 2 as the first milestone as a player for a lot of reasons. So right now, this is the official 9th. Like, as of right now, it has officially been, I want to say 9 months. It's actually been a hair less than 9 months because not every month has exactly 4 weeks. Some months have 5 weeks in them, you know. But it has been, 36 weeks. This entire run has taken 36 weeks from start to finish of no spending money, some aggressive gameplay at the beginning, and then some more tapered gameplay as time went on. But, you guys were with me the entire way. Some of you guys are right now. Vrak just reported that he just cleared Dark Dimension 2 minutes ago, following either my advice or on-the-fly advice that has been asked from me. And I appreciate that, because I want this video series to be the kind of thing that people can go back and watch to kind of keep track with. My goal was to have people look at this video series going backward and say, like, all right, so I've been playing this game for 5 weeks. Let's see what Tony's week 5 video looked like. Oh, his account was worse off than mine, or oh, he was a little bit different than mine, and then determine why that was relevant to you. That's what this series was about, and that's the goal. Hopefully I can give free-to-play players hope that they don't have to spend $10 trillion to be able to accomplish the stuff that's in the game. Hopefully I gave, spenders a good framework for them to spend their money without necessarily wasting a ton of money. Well, I bought all these Asgardians and they're great. And like, yeah, but you can't farm any of them. Or more realistically, farming any of them early kind of sucks. Well, that's the point. And I don't think that anything has changed dramatically from where we are right now, from when I started the series, that I would change how I would recommend you do it. I still fundamentally do believe that what the advice I had given is the best way for not only a free-to-play player, but a player looking to spend money effectively. Grats, Mahoney. 6 red Black Bolt and 7 red Hela. Amazing. Should take. And that's where I want to leave this. So what I want to do now, in the epilogue, in the, the post-word of the series, is not necessarily talk about every mistake that's been made. You can see all the mistakes that have been made. They're documented. But there are a couple of big mistakes that I do think now are worth talking about. The first mistake that I believe I made was prioritizing a 6-star Star-Lord on first pass for Dark Dimension 1. I can now say with all certainty that Dark Dimension 1 doesn't matter. It's great, and it's awesome to do it, but the cost, the 6-starring of characters, the opportunity cost of getting a team, any usable team in Dark Dimension 1 to 6-star is worse, truly worse, than getting to Dark Dimension 1 either eventually or post Dark Dimension 2. I believe that the game itself has designed a better system for going into Dark Dimension 2 than it had previously. I think that Dark Dimension 1 is harder to access than Dark Dimension 2 because the team you'd want to get to 6-star is fundamentally not the team that you would use in Dark Dimension 2. And I think that's actually a problem a lot of people have made in the past, where they'd say, well, I used this team for Dark Dimension 1, and it was AIM, or Defenders, or Guardians, or something. Anyone, really. I managed to spend money in 6-star the Asgardians. If you're spending money in 6-star in the Asgardians, you're probably not looking for too much advice. You got some pretty good advice there because you have the money to support it. But I think that, you get that 6-star team, and then your brain says, sunk cost, well, I already have them at 6-star in gear tier 10 or 11. I might as well get them to gear tier 13 and try my hand at Dark Dimension 2. I used Fury Shield for Dark Dimension 1. I can remember that, like, through the line. And another story that kind of goes along with that is, what are the opportunities? So I think the game has evolved to the point where prioritizing Dark Dimension 1 prior to Dark Dimension 2 is unnecessary. Not that it's not okay, not that clearly you wouldn't have the resources to be able to do Dark Dimension 2. I think that the time it takes for you, we've proven, the time it takes for you to 6-star any character through non-financial means, let alone a team of 5 that are competent enough to complete Dark Dimension 1, is far too great compared to the time it takes for you to just worry about the good characters on your roster. And ultimately, I don't think if you can look at this roster and say that there's many regrets, I would disagree with you. I think that the only character that doesn't splash past this point is, of course, Star-Lord. But now Star-Lord is set, right? Like, he's done. This is the last piece of gear I will ever have to put into Star-Lord for a long time. And I have the option of building up the Guardians team for anything I want. I have the option of using him still for for raids. It's not like I'm not using them anymore. But I don't need to touch him anymore. And that's a lesson that everyone can learn in Marvel Strike Force. A lesson every single player could pick up on is the idea that there's no reason to take every single character at, if they were good at the beginning, then leave them there. That's where they were good. If they became better as time went on, you can address it. Like, if Star-Lord gets reworked, you're not going to be mad. But ultimately, I think, as far as investing in Symbiote Spider-Man and Carnage, it gave me the opportunity to move into the symbiotes. As far as investing in Hela, I'm not going to have a problem with it. I know for my main account that I use Hela in pretty much most game modes anyway. Minerva has been useful in quite a bit of game modes as is. My second and, the 30k characters, the characters I brought up coincidentally around them, are all relatively reasonable characters that do have value at different stages in the game. Some more early, some later. No big deal. Exactly, Kevcore. Perfect example. But now you can see that with my Star-Lord at 50k, that's at 60k. Now, if you do the math, right, 5 characters at 50k is going to be a 250k power team. So, over time, my Guardians of the Galaxy team, as I find some resources I need, these guys will hit roughly 40k, and that team is done. And that's a war offense team or defense team, depending on where you are in war. But it is a good war offense team, especially in the wars that someone at my power should be facing off against. It's going to be useful in a couple of different raids. They're a fine and competent team in the cosmic lane while you're waiting on getting or working towards better cosmic characters. They're a competent team for the gamma raids because there's, I think, 6 total nodes that you can use Guardians of the Galaxy on. There's nodes in campaign now, I believe it's the villain? No, it's the Doom campaign, that require Guardians. And you have them. So that's a team that's done that you don't have to worry about getting to 300, 400, 500k. They serve their purpose by getting you through the early game. You abandon them. You say, good job, thanks for the help. Now we've grown up. We've did our glow up. We've got Ultron now. So now we don't need to worry about the guys who carried us in the past. Even though in the past, this team represented one of the strongest teams in the game. Times change, the game evolves. And guess what? One day, the symbiotes won't be the best team in the game. We will look back at the symbiotes in the same way we look back at the Guardians / the BKT and be like, oh no, they're really good for the first 9 months of play and then they fall off. Cheers, Greek Pump. By the way, the Get As Guardian and aim line is phenomenal. I advise it to everybody. I would rather, the little asterisk on that line is that it is a spending path. You will consistently find yourself spending, not just to keep those characters up, but to keep up with the Joneses, as it were, and make sure that you have the legendary characters, online, because as good as your Asgardians is, the day you don't get a legendary, you don't get Magneto, but someone else does, it doesn't matter that Heimdall prevents blinds. The Brotherhood will beat your Asgardians team. Facts. Did you get rid of the Curse of the Spiky Ball? I got him up one more gear tier, just for the... like... And I got him up from 6 to 7, and then I have a little bit more Spiky Ball going on. Can't afford these because I left the alliance I'm in. Like, it's not my account anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I'm off it. It's going away. So I'm not necessarily supposed to be reliable or relied on for gameplay at that kind of level. You know, I'll let that person decide what kind of alliance they want to be in with the roster they have and everything else along those lines. But again, I'll let the player who takes over this from me have the experience of playing through Dark Dimension 2 the way they want, whether they want to use the team that I used, or whether they want to, you know, upgrade Ultron or wherever Emma is right now, which is probably like right around here. Here she is. Like, let's be clear. I'm doing things that I hope the person who obtains this account accepts, you know? Like, please understand that I recommend you do this, you know? This is a good move. Why do we regard it as a good move? Missed the Ultron walk? It was, the video's up. It was on Wednesday, I want to say. Like, Emma's gonna be a character that's there. And guess what? 4 months from now, like, not even joking, 4 months from now, when everybody is saying, like, oh, use Emma, well, Emma's not going to have a milestone anymore. So now you're pot committed into buying or doing something else. I agree with that, Tina. I think I'm going to be just shy. Yeah, I'm just shy of 4 on this one. It's okay. Strong Emma is definitely worth the investment for now, anyway. And, what's his name? Ultron is already 6664 and has the ability, and there's plenty of gold on this account. I just want whoever obtains this to know that it's reasonable and justifiable to work up Emma as much as you want, because she is truly a powerful character in the exact same way that Symbiote Spider-Man is truly a powerful character, and you don't really have to worry about the investment you put in him. So is Ultron part of the arena team for his account now? No, he's not strong enough. He's only down here. He might be strong enough to put on defense. Actually, I haven't really tried it. Let's try it. It's been a while. Might as well get a couple of good licks in. So let's set defense. Let's take out you and put in Ultron at 20k. And let's speed up a Mawless Black Order. I might be able to pull off a Mawless Black Order. Let's see. Review the new update that just dropped. The blog post? I can do that. I just wanted to get that there. So, from what we've learned, you know, I think going for that 6-star Star Lord on first pass, while completely plausible, is an action best served for people willing to spend money, as opposed to a free-to-play player. I don't think it's that strong. Yes, it'll do it well, Augusto. It won't be... It might be, but I can't be sure. Like I said, the only thing I was pretty confident about is that it's not Blade. Everything else is, like, on its own. This placement's also all wrong. Oh, bad luck. Let's see. To be fair, a stronger Ultron would be able to beat this team, but just on his own. Ultron tends to actually counter the Black Order as is. So we'll see. These guys are going to fall over. Congrats, Diamond. Oh no, Ultron's dead. Nerd's back. I don't need to take over. This fight will handle itself. Just thinking what else we learned. So, again, me starting for that 6-star Star Lord hurt me on getting Invisible Woman and Magneto. I would have had both of them on first pass as a free-to-play player. So please, if you're playing as free-to-play, I stand by the opinion of starting with the Guardians, but I don't think it's necessary for you as a player to push towards a 6-star. You know, once you get a character to 5, kill it and move on to the next one. Move on to your Sinister 6 unlock. Move on to your what's it called? Your Magneto unlock. And the reason why I have the choices there is, and I want to make sure this video has it all, because it's not going to be a long video. But it will be a video that has a lot of information, hopefully. There is a difference between the value of a character when you unlock them and a value of a character later. So Star-Lord's value goes up dramatically when you unlock him early, and the later you are in the game, when you reach the year point plus, Star-Lord's value drops dramatically. Same kind of thing with Magneto. Magneto will help you maintain a really strong arena presence. Will it keep you in top 10? Depends on how much the top 10 people are spending. Yes, Zachary, 100%. So that's great. I'm just having X-23 as X-Men trait, so... Yeah, they were supposed to get... I did say that the other day. I don't know if I said it on this or on a live stream. But all of the X-Force characters were supposed to have... Not all of them. Most of them were supposed to have the X-Men trait. And they kind of nerdled that a little bit. Oh, the reason they didn't give them the X-Men trait was to prevent people from being able to use 55 or 60 characters for unlocking Magneto. But ultimately, it didn't make a difference. At this point, Magneto is such an easy early unlock that they might as well retire him with Nick Fury. So, I still stand by the legendary unlock cadence for every player in this game, regardless of how much your spending is. Star-Lord, and again, if you're spending and you jump this, that's great, but just always make sure that these are priorities. Star-Lord, either Shuri or Invisible Woman, one or the other, whichever, like, you get the Sinister 6 up to 5 stars, basically what that is, and then you'll get both of them whenever they come. Then Magneto. At that point, we're talking multiple months into the game, probably around 4 to 5 months of total play in the game. You should be making enough progress or dents towards level 70 that you can start farming the additional characters you need for Black Bolt, because by the time you hit 70, you can work up whatever team you happen to need. As you saw with me, by the time I hit 70, I had most of AIM, and by most of AIM, I mean everybody from AIM, except Graviton. I had them unlocked, so it was easy for me to bring them up because they were all 2 or 3 star. You know, over time, you're getting 5 red stars a week. Sometimes you'll get 2 or 3 on every character. You'll be like, this isn't useful, until much later in the game when it is. And now my AIM team is capable of beating the nodes that are harder in the villains when I hit 70. Then we move into the mid game, because at that point, you know, once you can farm Hela, you can also work towards Black Order. And once you can do both of those, not Black Order, I'm sorry, we can work towards Dark Dimension 2. And because of that, because you have your Hela unlock farm, because you're doing Dark Dimension 2, you enter what I call MSF 2.0. You've done the first and most important thing that will teach you how to play this game over the long term, which is the education you need to know that sometimes you need specific characters and sometimes you need specific teams. And this teaches you all of that. It teaches you, hey, you need specific teams to unlock characters, but you need specific characters together as a team to unlock Ultron. And that's going to carry you through the rest of the game. Because the next thing that happens is you're going to look at, okay, what's the next legendary I unlock? Well, the options are Black Bolt or Phoenix. You've already been working on Hela because you've been working on that, so get Black Bolt. And the benefit of getting her, Black Bolt, is because that's 2 characters at 5-star that you can bring to 6-star to unlock Phoenix and Black Bolt. So Hela and Loki are the double tap overdrop. Like, you can do what you need to do. So might as well get Black Bolt first, because it's easier to get them to 5. Then work your way up to 6-star on that. Afterwards, after those guys are 6-star and you have Phoenix, you can split between building up teams for War and potentially farming characters for Maw, because at this point, you've probably found a lot of extra value in certain characters, like Ms. Marvel, who I'm going to farm right now. And she's a good character, you know? You've probably, of course I got 0 shards, why wouldn't I? You've probably picked off a pretty decent chunk passively of a bunch of the Inhumans in the game through hook or by crook. So just to show you, I have a 2-star Quake through Blitz Orbs. Karnak has been unlocked through stuff. Crystal is not unlocked yet, and you will have Black Bolt, so, you know, farming these guys' character nodes, Karnak's almost impossible to farm until you're at the end game anyway, because you need to be, what's it, the end of what is it? What's that node? Nexus, I think. So you already have to be over level 71, so farming any of these guys early is silly. Is Quake in Arena? Did I say Blitz? I'm sorry. I meant, I guess I meant Arena, yeah. Quake's in Arena, so there's no reason to worry about her until after you have Black Bolt anyway. Remember, just the quick math on this, guys. If you're doing, all you have to do in Arena is be top 500. Top 500 guarantees you 3 character purchases every 2 days. That's the math you need to pay attention to. So that's 15 character shards every 2 days. So if you need 130 shards for a 5-star, and you get, you know, we'll call it 7 every day, because, you know, 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. You're always ever 18 days away, 18 to 22, depending on how bad some days go for you, 18 to 22 days away from 5-starring any character that you have 0 shards of. Does that make sense? So there's no reason to start farming characters like Quake, like Heimdall, like Mordo in the incredible early stages of the game, because the game will give you character shards of random characters through there. You saw at the very beginning of the game when I opened a Mega Orb and I pulled 50 Hela shards, and I was like, that sucks. And people were like, that's the best pull you could have. And I was like, no, it wasn't. The best pull I could have possibly gotten was Mysterio, because I needed 50 more Mysterio shards to unlock a legendary. 50 Hela shards is always going to be good, you know, but I can't work on Hela, so it didn't make a difference. And that's the difference between recognizing that a character is good and recognizing why a character is good. Any single person who watched me pull that Hela shard and be like, that was a great pull, they didn't understand why Hela is good. And the reason, and like, they just said, Hela's good. 50 shards of Hela is a good pull. That's not true. 50 shards of Hela is a good pull if I'm working towards and progressing Hela. 50 shards of any character is technically okay because it saves you time and effort. It just, let's be clear, 50 shards of Hand Sorceress are more valuable than 50 shards of Hand Sentry, you know? And the reason why is Hand Sorceress is a useful character on that hand team that will help you use the hand stuff. Now, in both situations, I would prefer neither of them to 50 shards of somebody else. But the same conversation, 50 shards of Hand Sentry is worth more than 50 shards of Captain America. Because Captain America has less usefulness than Hand Sentry. You don't want to believe that because Captain America's Cap and he's part of a team and there's a node you can do with him on it. And he's war defense character. But Hand Sentry has an event and I'd rather get those shards passively through play than I would actively through having to farm or spend currency on it, if that makes sense to everybody. I'm doing top 300 and 200 use Thor, Sif, Star, Minerva, and Emma. The cores and credits help a lot. Absolutely. You can be higher. I'm not saying don't strive for the highest you could possibly get. I'm giving you the numbers of being top 500. So when I was staying in top 500, there's a reason why I actually have a surplus of arena credits. Let me go. We'll go to this blog post right after and review it. Let's go to roster. Nope, arena store. Sorry, guys. So we go to the arena store. Heimdall's going to be 5-star when the event comes around, so that's not a big deal. Human Torch is an unnecessary character. Vulture is 5-star, and these are all shards that have come afterwards, you know? Probably during this event right now. M'Baku, he's unlocked. I don't need to farm him. I can probably only push past the 3 or 4-star event anyway when it comes to that. My team isn't strong enough to do the 5-star, and I'm not farming them for that event, but I am making some progress. My goal is to get, like, every couple months to be able to do 1 more star, and honestly, I just kind of look at the characters and be like, if I could buy 1 or 2 purchase and get the whole next rank, I'll take it. Juggernaut's been ready. Deadpool has been okay. Scarlet Witch, no reason to work on her. Mordo is my daily buy. Drax is done. Quake, you know, necessary for an unlock much later. Daredevil, don't even remember pulling him. And God help you if you're farming the nerds, you know? Once you get to the point where you're actively farming the nerds in the store, like to try to get them higher, you've gone really far in the game. So, like, you're doing it pretty okay. Nice, Kev. I do think that's true, too. I think going more Phoenix is roster dependent. I'm a lot closer to getting Inhumans. I agree. Like, it is roster dependent. It is completely roster dependent, but there's the... Like, let's look at it like this. If Symbiote Spider-Man was available in the Arena store, I don't think there's a single person in the world that would recommend doing anything but farming Symbiote Spider-Man first. You know? Like, because you can get Venom relatively quickly. You have Symbiote Spider-Man, and you can unlock Carnage through the War Store, and there's no team that matches what those 3 characters match as far as overall value in the game. But that's not the case. So when I talk about that, so any person saying starting with the symbiotes is a good move is inherently either lying or too stupid to know the difference. You know, like, you can't tell people that because it's not an option. That said, if for some reason you start the game and you're gifted 100 symbiote Spider-Man shards because whoever does DD4 gives that out as a gift, or if for some reason, you know, you hot rip milestone orbs and every single thing you open is 5 or 10 symbiote Spider-Man shards, your gameplay has to evolve around that. My gameplay gave me a free Hela. And as a result of it, I used Hela to build out. Had I not gotten a free Hela, I would have to do something differently. But my experience is no different than anyone else's experience who played at the same time as me. And while a technically different experience, people who started after me that are now getting like a free so-and-so. Like, what happens when if they change it and the next character that comes out, like, who's the next milestone character, right? Whoever the next milestone character is, those are players who are like gonna have, after Emma, those are players who are gonna have the opportunity to get this new crazy character that's super strong, that people who start after them are gonna be like, well, how do I start with Emma? And that's why there's a difference between like fundamental advice and pivotable advice. And that's one of the examples of a pivotable advice. Did you have the Thor, Deadpool, Cap calendar when you started this account? No. I think I just unlocked Captain America the other day, so no. Plan on using Emma, Carnage, SSM, Minerva, and Hela, and I keep getting told to swap one or two of these to something better. I'm not sure my choices are optimal input. I think Carnage... So, Emma, Carnage, and SSM are okay. Carnage is the weakest person on that team, just to let you know. For what it is. I was not happy to use Carnage for Dark Dimension 3, but because I used Carnage, I had to like play a little bit smarter than if I had an optimal example. Let's see. If I were to change anybody, it would be Carnage, and I would swap that out for Star-Lord to Energy Battery Minerva, because Minerva's damage is the most important thing in the game. And if you don't have Star-Lord, or you don't want to work on Star-Lord, I would use someone like Invisible Woman to give you an uh-oh, things are about to go down button, so you can protect everybody on your team in case something goes wrong. I think Carnage is single-handedly one of the least useful characters the way that comp is set up. You have Emma, who's doing a great job of not only controlling the team, but taking out key characters and removing buffs. You have Minerva, who's the big damage dealer. You have Hela, who can control, but you don't have any debuffs that are being placed that matter. Like, what are you spreading with Hela besides bleed stacks and defense downs, you know? You like spreading a blind to everybody basically gives you a free turn. Spreading an ability block to everybody can be crucial. Spreading a disrupt to everybody could be crucial. Do I take Emma for IW when I lock IW Monday? They do different things. I think Emma's phenomenal. I wouldn't have Emma and IW as the pivot points. That's not what they don't do the same thing. That's like saying, should I use Minerva or Mantis? Well, they both heal. No. Mantis is a healer. Minerva is a damage dealer in Dark Dimension 2. You can't compare two completely different characters for their purpose and then move them around. Who's the next legendary after IW? If memory serves, it's like Nick Fury, probably. Or Magneto. But it's one of those two. You would need 4 shards a day. Yeah. Last cycle had Fury the Magneto. Correct. I'm just surprised Nick Fury is still around. Can I donate? I can donate. Cool. I'm gonna donate. Complete 2 battles and blitz. Sure. You know what? Now's probably the time to like redo a bunch of these teams. As we go on. This one can stay. And this one can go. Okay. Fury was once DD2 viable. I remember I used Fury for DD2. The issue has nothing to do with how good or bad Nick Fury is. The issue has to do with the effort it takes to unlock Nick Fury. To get the Kree minions to 5-star just for Nick Fury is no longer worth what it used to be worth. Because Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. used to be the team to beat Dark Dimension 1 and to beat like the raids. Truth is, he's not there anymore. That's just not what happens anymore. There's just better options. Yeah, like you can still use these characters. Like, the reason you don't hear me say use Nick Fury is because, let's face it, I can think of 10 better characters than Nick Fury at every stage of the game, and most of them are easier to come by. Even cheaper to come by than Nick Fury, if that even makes sense. Like, you know, 2 or 3-star versions of characters are adequate enough. Yellow Jacket DD Text makes him a good candidate. Why are we asking about a character that's coming out today? Why are we asking how good a character that is going to be a purchasable character is going to be useful. It's not a good question. Like, it's a silly question. That's like asking if Doom is going to be good in Dark Dimension 2. And like, I understand the idea, but if you're willing to spend money, because that's what you have to do, right? You have to spend money to bring up Yellow Jacket. Where you are in the game, if you're using IW, Minerva, SSM, Yellow Jacket, and Emma, like, you don't need Yellow Jacket. IW, Minerva, SSM, Emma, and 5th character can do it. So like, a new character that comes out, you have to be a spender for it to be relevant. So if you ask me if Yellow Jacket's gonna be viable for DD4, I'm gonna say the exact same thing. Well, you're gonna have higher than a 5-star version of it, because I'm not bringing a 5-star anything into Dark Dimension 4. I think it's silly to bring a 5-star anything into Dark Dimension 3. But, like, new characters, it only affects you if you're willing to spend. And if you're lucky and you, like, open an orb and, you know, have 675 cores and pull the 180, then you're lucky, you know? Then maybe that changes it. But that's not a planning decision. That's a, Tony, I have a 7-star Yellow Jacket. Should I bring him up question? I think it's bad advice. I think it's bad that anyone would tell you to look at new characters that are coming out as a priority for stuff that is easy to handle on its own. Like, I think it's in bad form, just in general. It's the same reason why I didn't include Emma in conversations. People were like, why didn't you say Emma's good in Dark Dimension 3? Not Dark Dimension 3. Well, yeah, but in U7. And I was like, guys, Emma's event hasn't fucking started yet. I have a 5-star Emma, you know, because I bought her. Like, you know, like, I'm not going to tell you to work on this character that nobody except the people who spent money have. It's a waste of time. My job is not to make Fox Next money. My job is to help people be better at the game any way I can. And I don't like to give, like, half answers, if that makes sense. I took my 3-star Zemo to 40k to counter 200k Hydra teams in war. That's legit. That's legit. A 40k Zemo can counter a 200k Hydra team in war? Hold on, what's the math on that? That's a 40k Zemo versus 40k guys. Yeah, it's not clean, but I see it. Like, that's fair. But you're also discussing Zemo in terms of what Zemo's job is. You know? Like, Zemo's job is to do that. His job is to beat Hydra in war. So, if you were like, I took my Zemo to 40k to counter a 200k Black Order team in war. You know, a 200k Black Order team in war, I'm like... Or, I took my Zemo to 60k so I could solo U7.5. That's a conversation that I'm like, okay, we have to take a quick look at Zemo and how good he is. If you're like, I soloed Dark Dimension 2 with Zemo, I'm gonna be like, all right, hold on. What? You know, like, let's take a minute and look at the power level of this character. But when you're like, yeah, the guy who kills Hydra characters is killing Hydra characters, I'm like, yeah, that's about right. You know, a good Zemo team, the good Hydra offense team with Zemo is actually, they're coming, JVJ. They're not going to do it now. Remember, they don't know that the community knows. You know? SM Carnage, Minerva, Hell, and Yo-Yo, good team for DD1 too, man. Play it very slow, Phoenix. It's a competent team, but you're proactive, not reactive, if that makes sense. If you don't have, like, you're not ulting with Hela on cooldown. When you don't have Star-Lord or Invisible Woman, specifically Star-Lord. So when you don't have Star-Lord, Minerva stops being a damage dealer. She starts being the oh shit heal button. You know what I mean? Because you can't just do it and then wait the 7 turns it takes for her to get the energy back. It takes forever. Yo-Yo over Invisible Woman. Yo-Yo makes the opposing team do less damage, which is great. But she also doesn't in any way, shape, or form add anything to the team. She doesn't actually do damage. She doesn't, you know, call an assist from anybody. She's not helpful there. So you'll be taking less damage, which is great, but you also don't have the Invisible Woman line. So like Yo-Yo is an option against Invisible Woman, but they do very different things. Where someone like Invisible Woman, or basically any tank, their job is to be like, things are going wrong, I'm going to taunt now to build myself enough time for Minerva to heal everybody, etc. Yeah, they're not going to be good. Was Deadpool and Cable good with the reworks of the X-Factor or X-Force? No. No. Cable got better. Deadpool didn't get better. Deadpool is still the same mediocre character. He just has more use now. Ant-Man and Wasp aren't going to be better. They're just going to have uses now. Not the same. Actually, like, let's be fair. The Hydra characters, the Hydra minions, they're not better. They just work really well with Red Skull, you know? You wouldn't take, like, the same thing when people always ask me, he's like, Tony, I have a Hydra team without Red Skull, and then I, like, you know, the Hydra minions without Red Skull. I'm like, well, you don't have a Hydra team then. You have 5 characters that have the Hydra tag, which is not the same as having a team. Same reason why the 4 Black Order team that you just saw, that was stronger than me, was, you know, with Hela, which is arguably a great character, was worse than my weaker and shittier nerds and 20k Ultron. 20k Ultron made them look like idiots. Like, team's not a team unless it's complete. Brotherhood ain't shit without Magneto, and the X-Men ain't shit without Phoenix. And a lot of people got suckered into that $50 X-Men offer and started using those characters, and we're like, who do I take out for Phoenix? I'm like, how do you have the X-Men invested in? How did that happen? Who led you wrong? Who hurt you? You know? Have to build some Blitz teams out. All right, so first let's take a quick look at the blog post. So, oh, look, it's Stature, guys. How many of you are surprised to see Stature being a character that's coming out? No one in this chat, that's for damn sure. When do you think Ultron is getting red stars? Within the next 6 months. Doctor Doom. Yeah, we already saw his kit. His kit's great. No real notes on this. I talked about it yesterday. I will say that there is one difference. The Doombot passive is changed. From what I'd seen previously, but everything else is fine. Nexus has a Kree, Asgardian, Kree, Guardian, or Asgardian nodes. Okay, so let's see. You guys can click this yourself. I'm not giving them a view. So we got Wakandan, AIM, and Mercenary. And that's actually in the order of value, just to let you know. The shittiest option is the Wakandan. The second shittiest option is AIM, and the third shittiest option is Mercenary. So, like, if I had an option, I would... If you used AIM, like, you could probably get AIM through here, but, like, Mercs are definitely... Like, you cannot have an argument with me about the Mercenaries being worth less than AIM. Like, you lose. You lose the argument immediately. You lose it. You lose the argument. The Mercs get you gold. Like, AIM does nothing but get you a war win sometimes, you know, with Ultron, keep in mind. So, like, I do like AIM in the early game, but this scares me. This scares me about the number of people that, again, are going to say the same thing they said before, which is, well, we need AIM to be able to beat these nodes. I'm like, yeah, and 140k AIM was good enough to get past everything else, and now, God help you if you have a 200k AIM team to get through this. I think you get more value out of the Mercs. Yeah, like, AIM... Yes, the only difference is it sucks to have to work on the Wakandans. At least the Mercs... At least out of the Mercs, you're still getting, like, Killmonger... And let's be clear, Killmonger is a double tap on both of them, so you could just work on Killmonger, and that's going to help you more. And this is Marauder, Spider-Verse in hand. No one is asking about this, tell you that much right now. No one's like, who do I use? Like, oh... Yeah, Mercs with Shuri. You could use the Mercs with Shuri and then put them on war defense and be like, what happened? I got a defense win. How'd that happen? Yeah, like Black Panther, Okoye, and M'Baku are not a part of this fight. But as long as you're using some combination, like if you use Scientist Supreme, Graviton, and then like Merc Riot Guard, Merc Lieutenant, and Shuri, you're like that team's gonna win. Like, like you're gonna win. And we'll go through it on my main account. I'll show you with like every option. And the last team is Black Order, which is without Thanos because Thanos doesn't have the Black Order tag. Hydra or Power Armor, Hydra, Zemo or don't, and whatever. I'm fairly confident. Like, just to let you guys know, this right here is telling you whether, like, if you're looking at this and being like, I'm not going to be able to do this. Good. Because you're not supposed to. Like, you understand that the reason they're making these challenge levels harder at the end game is because it's supposed to be something you worked towards. So anybody who, like, went super hard on the wrong characters or a team is now like, but how do I beat this node with this character? Like, you're supposed to have a wide roster so that you can pivot and invest in to a point. That's why the people who have thinner rosters or free-to-play players like this account have a harder time with this, because most of the time they just go, but my arena's really strong, and they're like, cool, and then they're like, and I have 7,000 cores saved up. I'm like, bro, if you have 7,000 of any resources, that resource is useless. You know, like, it ain't doing anything for you. Like, to you, it's useless. You know what I mean? This one is probably actually going to be a little bit of the hardest one, but I still think that, like, the core of the Black Order team is acceptable for it. This is Doom War Chapter 2. This is the end game campaign. For those of you who don't remember what it was like to beat the Vision node, suggested comp for Doom 7-9, it's the Black Order with Zemo. Or, no, the Black Order with Hydra Scientist, so they have a healer. That's the team I would use. No question. Black Order plus Hydra Scientist. Or plus Zemo. Yeah, leave Zemo. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Black Order plus Falcon. That's fine. I can tell you who's not in that comp. Iron Man. War Machine. Rescue. Those guys aren't on my... With no information, I'm already confident those three characters are going to be useless. As is, like, most of the Hydra characters. Grenadier, yeah, you know? Like, what are your options? Well, 4 of the top 5 characters, or 4 of the 5 characters in one of the best teams in the game. And then 2 standout characters from Hydra. And then 2 standout characters from Power Armor, so... DD2 has a... Every Dark Dimension has a 24-hour cooldown from the day you beat it. This is what makes me laugh, though. I'm, like, the character shards for Squirrel Girl and Proxima Midnight. So how are you supposed to beat this node without having access to Proxima Midnight? Because let's be clear, she's gonna be the reward for 7-9. You know? Or Doom Ward-9. Like, that's Proxima. It's not... They're not gonna give you, like, her here and then Squirrel Girl here, right? It's gonna be clearly a pain in the ass. And that's because you're not supposed to. Oh, 2-9? Yeah, I was right. Sorry. I did this yesterday, too. The other day, I was on stream, and I left it like this because it was in the mail. And I was like, I guarantee you Proxima's going to be farmable here. And they're like, scroll down, Tony. And I was like, what? Oh, yeah, Proxima's here. And then I was like, she's going to be at the end. And, of course, she's at the end. Start gearing up now because they want people to put all their tech gear in Power Armor. No, they want idiots to put all their tech gear in Power Armor. They make a shit ton of money about people who make bad decisions. I told you the story about people in my old alliance who were bringing up, like, teams to gear tier 13 that, like, didn't need to be at gear tier, like the entire X-Men team at gear tier 13, not because they like them, not because they're like, I love the X-Men, they're like my favorite characters, I just want them strong because it's no, because they're like, they need to be that strong. And then they would go in and be like, there's no team that my X-Men is needed to beat, so I don't want to waste it. And then I'd go in with a 200k X-Men team and beat something. Yeah. And be like, yeah, you wasted your time. That was a waste of resources. They didn't need to be that strong. You know, power armor at 350k. Like, who's that beating? Yeah, you could probably get away with healer ISOs. Yeah, but, like, the cost is probably a little bit easier. Let's see what stature is. Okay. Cool. Global Bioprotector. Pim Tech or Hero Tech. I never saw the Hero Tech. Cool, let's look at this. Hero Global Bioprotector. Flip defense up. That's awesome. That just defense up. Stature Stomp is the special. Attack primary target for 310% damage. Gain taunt plus defense up and regen. Pim Particle Punch. Not ready on turn 1. Except if there's some other mechanism, but it generates 2 ability energy. So she's always at 2 energy. So it does look like it's a 5-turn cooldown, but it's really a 3-turn cooldown because of when it's used. Attack primary target and adjacent targets. That's weird. Gain taunt defense up plus regeneration. When a Pim Tech ally drop below 50% health, apply evade to that ally up to a maximum of 4. Yeah, I did say that this team is looking like a war defense team because of evades, and I stand by that. I think that there is a lot of evasion that's coming out there. Well, you use it, you get to 2. Oh, yeah, well, you still can't do it every second turn, right? Like, because then it goes 3, the next turn you take after it generates is 3, then the turn after that's 4, and then the turn after that's 5. So you use the attack, she gets 2 energy. The next turn she has 3 energy. That's turn 1. The next turn is 4 energy, and then it's 5. When this character, I'm sorry, a little bit, I'm a little late. Are you happy with Doom's kit? Yes, I am very happy with Doom's kit. Doom feels like a reward worthy of the effort it takes to complete something as difficult as Dark Dimension. Whereas Dark Dimension 3's rewards felt laughably dogshit. When this character drops below 50% health, clear taunt from self. If Ant-Man's an ally, apply taunt to Ant-Man. That's awesome. Yeah, like, I'm telling you, I said this a while ago, and I'm telling you, this is a war defense team. Whether you can use them in Dark Dimension or raids is completely irrelevant. You will not be seeing this team on offense in war. You have to get ready to fight the absolute nightmare that is the Pim Tech team on defense, where they're just constantly evading if you can't kill them. Focus, whatever. In Dark Dimension, gain 20% max health for Pim Tech and Pim allies. Yeah. Yeah. They're trying to sell Dark Dimension teams now because, let's be fair, Symbiote Spider-Man was the first character to be good in Dark Dimension and raids, and he was really good. I think this team is relatively weaker than what's... I think that the entire team, from what I've seen, and Ghost is the last one, just so you guys know. I think this team is relatively weaker. You counter that with people who can't be dodged. How many attacks can't be dodged? Relatively weaker, yeah. I think that, obviously, the not having the tag for Dark Dimension... And keep in mind, 20% max health in Dark Dimension is not a stat. You know? Like Symbiote Spider-Man gave Symbiote's Drain. This is just more health. And obviously, they're all going to be parts of a team, so you can't just get there. What's the best Matrix class for each character on the hand team? I don't understand. You mean ISO? The answer is none. The answer is if you're putting ISOs on the hand team right now, you have more money than sense. How long do you think a free-to-play player can unlock this team? A free-to-play player, like, I could unlock this entire team on free-to-play. I unlocked the entire symbiotes on free-to-play. Like, unlocking characters is not hard as a free-to-play player. Getting them to a star level and red star level and gear level that makes them relevant is relevant for a free-to-play player. Yeah. Well, technically, you could use this team for early Dark Dimensions, but we've already just proven that Dark Dimension 2 is not a difficult challenge. Why are people talking about the hand rework like it's going to happen? Did they mention the hand rework here? Did they say it in this? Because the only thing you should trust is the hand rework is them telling you that the hand rework is happening. Oh, so they didn't? So everyone's still just full of shit? Okay, cool. Just making sure. Trait updates. 2 traits, Eternal and Martial Artist, have been traditionally unutilized. Martial Artist required for 1 event campaign. Eternal was only used by Thanos and Ultimus. We decided to remove both traits from all characters to avoid any confusion. In future event campaigns requiring Martial Artists, we'll revisit adding it as a temporary trait. Yeah. A new trait is coming, somewhat like an extension of X-Men faction called Uncanny. Similar to what Avengers Wave 1, we want to better certify certain teams and clear the path for any future X-Men characters. In addition to adding Uncanny trait to all existing X-Men, we also revised some of their kits and expanded some of their abilities. Some updates will... sure. Cool. Okay. Who's a priority for the Arena Star once the Legendary unlocked characters are 5, Immortals at 6? At that, honestly, sky's the limit and space is the place, bro. Whoever you want. Like, 6... You really want a 6-star character? 6-star character, you know? You really want to, like, line out their Brotherhood team? Make sure that Blob's up there. You want to start working on Corvus? Go to Corvus. Is X-23 going to be a passive X-Man? Yeah. Well, I can't believe I watched clickbait speculation to make someone else money. Clickbait speculation to watch make someone else money for their quirky ideas. Right. I watch content on Marvel Strike Force quite a bit. And as a matter of fact, most of you guys have seen me in other people's streams. I don't speak. I feel like it's rude. I feel like if I speak in someone else's stream, it's rude. Not because I think I'm good, but because like I technically am one of the more popular content creators. So I feel like if I start saying something, people might be like, Tony, what do you think about this? Or it might take away from the content creators. But I do enjoy watching other content creators. I also watch a lot of YouTube videos. I very rarely comment, but I do watch a lot of YouTube videos. And I watch significantly less YouTube videos from content creators because I truly, in my heart, do not give a fuck about what's the type of journalism when you just go like when it's all clickbait, when it's all bullshit. Like when it's yellow. Is that what it's called? Yellow journalism? Whatever that is. TMZ. You know what? Yeah, whatever TMZ does. Like I no part of my penis gets hard when I'm watching someone go like, I've done the calculations and here's how we're gonna beat Dr. Doom. Hold on. Doom. Like, you know, no part of me gives a shit. Hey Josh. How you doing? Like, no part of me gives a shit about someone figuring out how to beat Dr. Doom at a time, like today, you know, when the first Doom is going to enter the gameplay, like January or February of 2021. Because guess what? If they figure out that Doom is that easy to beat, just like, do you remember that team that hard countered the Black Order? Who remembers that? Who remembers that team that hard counters the Black Order, guys? Who remembers that team? Because I fucking don't. Because they didn't. If you're going to go out on a limb, you know the reason going out on a limb is bad, right? Going out on a limb is bad because you will fall off and die. No problem. I'm just saying that. Like, when you go off on a limb, it's because, like, the boy who cried wolf kind of thing. Like, if I say, guys, just to let you know, the X-Force team, the X-Force is going to be used to unlock a legendary. So buy them up right now, guys. Everyone spend your money, get them to 5-star. They're going to be used to unlock a legendary. It's important. If I say that to you, and then I'm wrong, y'all should be coming at me with pitchforks. Be like, fuck you, Tony. It's a good question. How long have I been streaming this episode? An hour, 4 minutes? I do, because my Black Order is not strong enough to counter other Black Orders. Yes, but the difference, Blackbird, is that team didn't work. Like, that team didn't work. You want to know how to beat the Black Order? Ultron, Black Bolt, Phoenix, Emma, Sinister. Punch up. 100k. 100k at any point. 200 to 300, they'll win. That's the team that does it. That'll do it. But I don't have those characters. Cool, work on Korath instead. That makes it better, right? How many free-to-play players at a stage in the game where they'll be encountering Doom on a regular basis? I'd say less than 1% of free-to-play players. And let's be clear, how many spenders are in a stage of the game where they're going to be encountering Doom? Symbiotes can beat Black Order? Yeah, of course they can. It's not an easy fight, but they can do it. Is Colossus essential for the first run DD3? No, but he's useful. I wouldn't regret bringing him in for DD3 in the same way I wouldn't regret bringing in Star-Lord for DD2. Like, he facilitates a different kind of victory, you know? Yeah, do not put symbiotes on defense. If I'm the only person that said it to you, please, if you listen to nothing else I say, your symbiotes team, if it's good on defense, is only good because the people that are playing around you are stupid. Symbiotes are a terrible defense team that has never changed. I think he was getting... He was so helpful getting Phoenix ult off? What do you mean? Is there a team you can use for future legendary unlocks? Fantastic Four is no. AIM is no. X-Force is already used for a legendary unlock. My information is telling me that this team is used for a legendary unlock. ISO 8 for Magneto. I like Raider on Magneto. Skirmisher is okay, too. I don't regret bringing Colossus. Yeah, I don't... I think it was important. I think Colossus is a good character for that. But it's like, remember... Also, I will tell you this. Ever since I got my Colossus stronger, the power level of teams I can punch up on against is higher. Like, just having a Colossus that's not gonna die has been more meaningful. And, like, you see my Cyclops on my main account, it's like 44k. Like... He doesn't care. Ultron for DD3, second run, not first. He's good on the second run, he's not good. What's up, Shane? I brought Ultron to 14 because I know something that you don't know. But also he's got a good, decent chunk of value for, the main reason I brought Ultron to 14, is because there are some nodes, I'm doing, like, different kinds of fights. It's not about whether he's okay or not. It's about the cost of bringing him up compared to other people. Like, he's fine. I just wouldn't recommend him until after you've gotten a large influx of gear, if that makes sense. Grizz is using him now. He's doing okay. Now that I know DD4 is coming, I kind of want to see who will be good in that before 14ing any more characters. That's what I'm doing. I 14'd all the characters that I thought were going to be good for the game, and now I'm just waiting on all the rest of my gear. Foxnex mentioned they will bring Hulkbuster and MODOK. Well, they are bringing MODOK into the game. They also mentioned they would bring Cyclops into the game, and it took them 9.5 months to do it. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to. Night Nurse has been reworked. Red Guardian is in the game. Just because they don't have that, just because it's not here yet, doesn't mean it's not happening. At the exact same time, if Foxnex says something, I wait to hear information from other people before I trust it. Any chance Ultron will get the Pimtech tag? He should. He should. As he is Pimtech. When do we get Legendary Odin? Never. Odin will not be a playable character in this game as far as I know. If that changes, I'll let you know. Yellow Jacket was in the data mine? Yeah, but so was Domino. Domino and Yellow Jacket were both characters that were in the game since day one. Which order would you upgrade the symbiotes for Dark Dimensions? Symbiote, Spider-Man, Carnage, Venom, Anti-Venom, Scream. In that order. So how long do you think it should take to bring both? How long do I think it should take them to bring both? I think that I honestly believe they should be releasing more than the number of characters they release. I think every patch they should release between 5 and 6 characters every single month. Because I don't think that it matters how quickly characters come out at all. Because I think that's a part of the game that people who don't know how to succeed at anything think is important. Because getting characters is easy. It's easy to unlock a 45-star character. Blitz? It's easy to blitz for a 45-star. Campaigns? Easy. Why do you think it's an issue for them to release 5 or 6 characters a month? You said not enough gear or gold. What makes you think you should bring up 5 or 6 characters a month? That's dangerous. Who's the lowest character on your roster? Or is... What ISO would you put on Ultron? Striker. Yeah. For anyone who's worried about how quickly it's going to take for them to get new characters up, how strong are your Ravagers team right now? I've heard about Save Squad. I've heard that there should be one shortly after. I know that the Delta Greek raid was supposed to come out. Gear tier 10. Victor, that's perfect. That's the exact... you might even be able to get away with level 60. I know that the Delta raid was supposed to be around the time of ISO 8s, which was last November. ISO 8s got pushed back from last November to this year, or like basically like this September. And because of that, the Delta raid moved with it. So I don't know if we're going to see Delta, but we are getting the slider soon. Hope MODOK is farmable. To my knowledge, MODOK was a... When I saw MODOK's information, I saw that he was going to be a milestone character. Which is why a lot of people... So, just to let you guys know, a lot of people incorrectly assumed that Emma was only going to have 2 problems, and that's my fault. That's my fault. Because originally I had said Emma would only get 2 passes, and I said it on a Valley video. And then I actually had to do a mea culpa. Like, I'm sorry, I apologize. It was like a month later I did a video with Valley and said Emma will have 3 total events, so her next one will be the second of 3. And everyone's like, they didn't say that, Tony. And I'm like... Okay. I'm wrong. In the process of trying to bring up power armor, I have no problem with gear, but gold is a massive crunch. Yeah, gold sucks. Gold always sucks. Well, you also have to remember what bring up means. I don't have... On my main account, I don't have many characters over level 65. I think I have probably about... Obviously, all my gear tier 14 characters are 75. Maybe an extra 5 or 6 characters on top of that. And then more of my characters are level 71. And then everyone else is 60 or 65. There's just no reason to. They don't need it. We have Corvus in Arena and Proximus campaign. Cole's probably going into war. If I had to guess, I would say Cole's going into war, but I don't know. 5 or 6 characters is overkill, especially at blitzes. If they did 2 campaigns is too much. It's not the resources at the time. I don't think so. I don't think Cole's going to be money. I think we're going to see Cole... I think we'll see Cole halfway through next month. I think you guys are underestimating, like... Blitz Sim is coming out, guys. You're going to have all the milestones done by clicking a button. I really think y'all are dramatically overestimating the issue. Like, they could release 30 characters a month. Raid Shadow Legends does. Raid Shadow Legends releases like 14 new characters a month. You know how they do it? Not everybody gives a shit about every character. Yeah, but Tony, PvP sucks. That's true. PvP does suck. Greetings from Germany. What's up, baby? Which character would... Carnage sucks, so options instead of Carnage are Emma. On the team that I use to replace Carnage. Emma, Invisible Woman. Juggernaut's actually okay on that team. If you do want a tank, you can actually get away with Sif because of Hela. But that's pretty much the only characters that I would go to off the top of my head. There's plenty of others, you know, like Black Bolt, you know, but I'm not going to really go on to them. Any word in tags for Delta at all? Nothing. I have no information. Dude, like, they changed so many of the kits that, like, it's impossible to even predict if the information I had seen a year ago is correct. Is IW the best option? She's one of those characters that, like, you won't regret investment later. So, like, she gives you a really good panic farm button. Should they rework Stark Tech? Nope. Stark Tech is done. I've said it before and I'll say it again. 25% status boost is the end of Stark Tech. We will not see any more increases. That's what ISO 8s are going to do. ISO 8s are basically Stark Tech 2.0. And the next stage of ISO 8s, which comes out in March, is going to be More. You don't think MODOK will be milestone, you think he will be legendary. I think that would be cool. I think that would be awesome. Who do if you think that, who do you think would unlock MODOK? Just having a conversation here. Is there any character worth farming at 7? The only characters worth farming at 7 are characters that like unlock someone at 7, you know? But realistically, think about it like this. It takes to get a character from 0 to 5 is the exact same amount of effort it takes to go from 6 to 7. 300 versus 310 character shards, so it's an absolute nightmare. You think Pimtech unlocks MODOK. So you think MODOK's the next legendary. I mean, it's not Blade. I'll tell you that much right now. I kind of wish we would do our Alliance donations for the week instead of daily. Honestly, the Alliance donation thing kills me. It kills me because I have like a 3-hour window to do it every day. Speaking of, I have to log in. MODOK is coming out, can tell you. Just don't know how he's supposed to be released. Remember, characters aren't legendary, kits are. Shuri isn't legendary, Shuri's kit is. Invisible Woman isn't legendary, Invisible Woman's kit is. Iron Man isn't legendary, nor is his kit, but it was at the time. Let me just finish this blog post. No one cares. Yeah. Oh, man. This is beautiful. The Hand series. Oh, this is so... I'm so happy. I got kicked for my free-to-play series, but it's fine because you're done with it. I mean, I haven't logged in 2 days. They probably should have kicked me. Like, I'm done. The people in charge knew I was temporary at best. You know? So, like, I did my best, and then I unlocked Ultron, and that's it. So, they were competent alliance. So they, you know, they were trying. They were doing their best, and I give them credit where credit's due. But, you know, then why was he so mad? Who so mad? Why was who so mad? Would you use Stark Tech credits for war credits? Tony, who should I bring in first? Maw or Colossus? Colossus. Who animated series called MODOK? Mr. J kicked a couple people for freeloading. Okay. Dude, how many alliances do you think are in this game? Hey, Gunther, how you been? How many alliances do you think? Like, he's mad. Let him be mad. Kicks a whole bunch of people. I assume he kicked everybody in with knowing. Heard anything about the December patch? Yes. I don't know who Mr. J is. I heard that we're getting one more orb opening milestone, but that's it. Nothing crazy, like no new things. The December patch is really just a setup for January. Oh my god, U6 Alliance. Yeah, right. Okay. Oh no. Anything about December patch? One alliance for every player. So no new characters? No. The new characters that are introduced in December won't become available until January. Because the December, remember, the last 2 or 3 weeks of the year, those guys at Fox Next tend to take really long vacations. Would they had monthly event for training mats like Payday? No. Because people buy training mats. If you want them to change the scarcity of something, stop. Like, you can't control what whales buy, right? Tony, I heard Eminem unlocks requires pretty high black belt in humans team. 130, 140k. probably. Truth is, if you have Black Bolt, you've probably got him as high up as you possibly can, and you should. So, no new characters in December? Not that I know of. Hey, Robin. Can't wait to get my hands Antivenom. Dope. 130k, I think, is the lowest small unlock. That's fair. So a Gear 13 Black Bolt. No. Black Bolt is important, but I mean, how often do the re-energize event come around? Not often enough. Like once a quarter, maybe. Wait, what you're saying is I should replace Yo-Yo with IW and Hello with Star-Lord? No, you should replace Carnage with... I mean, I wouldn't tell you to replace anything. You know? Like, I've been very clear. Star-Lord, Minerva, IW is the three-piece set that beats Dark Dimension. The other two characters are whoever you want. Emma, Symbiote Spider-Man, Carnage, Hela. Doesn't matter. If I had had Invisible Woman, I would never have brought in Carnage. That's the three-piece set. So if you have Yo-Yo... Again, keep in mind, I'm talking about doing it easily. If you use Minerva, Symbiote Spider-Man, Carnage, Hela, and Yo-Yo, you'll still do it. Just won't be as easy. It might take you one extra try, you know? I took 60k. Crystal's the biggest work for me when I lock them off. That's fair. So Gear 13, Black Bolt, and the rest Gear 10. Yeah, that's fine. That should be okay. I mean, remember, the only thing that matters is the power scale. When you talk about gear tier, doesn't matter. All gear, all red stars, all level does is facilitate the overall power of your character. So when people ask, like, what gear tier should it be? Like, whatever gets each character to 40k. Doesn't matter what the gear tier is, just get the character to 40k. You'll be fine. Are you excited with Pimtech and possible Ant-Man and Wasp reworks? No, Ant-Man and Wasp reworks are there. You're asking questions like you don't know. I've already been talking about this for the last 2 months. You must be new to the stream. What's up, new guy? Who the new character coming? Was it Yellow Jacket or was Beetle? It's Yellow Jacket, Stature, Ghost, and then Ant-Man and Wasp's reworks. For Doom Campaign, is the better investment Fantastic Four? It's Fantastic Four. It's Fantastic Four. It took 6 seasons. Real 2K, I had 3-star Yo-Yo in 100 days as free-to-play. Lucky. If I want to unlock Squirrel Girl, what do I need for Doom's Team 1? I'll just go over those Doom teams one more time, and then you guys can tell people to rewatch the video later. Mercs are the better investment than AIM, because, like, Mercs are more useful than AIM. But, you know, if you got AIM already, some hybrid, Shuri, you know, something like that. You can use Shuri on this node. Basically, Shuri and Killmonger are the characters that are, like, the most important on this node. The other characters are whoever you want. At least Mercs will get you some value in other stuff, like Gamma Raids, as well as, like, War. AIM loses a little bit of value in War, but they're still okay. For this team, I'm not giving you any advice, because if you can't figure out how to win a fight with the full options of the Marauders and Spider-Verse, you don't need help. You need to find a different game. The Black Order Hydra Power Armor is any Black Order character you have, and followed up with Zemo. And you can even add in, like, Falcon or something like that. Doom's Kit's good. I look forward to getting him at some point next year, probably around March, if I had to guess. Since they'll be making teams for doing DD2, I wonder what the Cosmic team will be. I don't think they will. I think that the reason they're making this team for DD2 is because you're not going to be able to use Phoenix for many of the nodes in it, and they're trying to sell you on an idea. Let me be very clear on something. I think it's fucking despicable that they're selling a team to do Dark Dimension. I think it's disgusting. I think if they wanted, and what kills me is the fact that they have a tag that says in Dark Dimension. My sneaky appearance? You mean when Trevor specifically said, "Hey, come in my stream and moderate during this because I don't want people to go crazy"? Yeah. And then I was there the whole time? Yeah, that's my sneaky appearance. Didn't they also sell Wakandans as a raid team? Yes, but the difference between the two is the Wakandans were a shitty raid team. Yeah. If you got AIM, Spider-Verse, and Power Armor, use AIM, Spider-Verse, and Power Armor. No, the Cowboys suck. Did you ban anyone during Boomer Stream? Yes, 2 people were banned. And multiple people. Mostly what I did was I just took comments out of the way. I have no idea what the end results of Dark Dimension 4 is going to be, but I promise you that it's not going to be fun. The Shuri Killmonger Taskmaster combo? That seems fair. Rogue and Gambit have something to do with this new X-Men tag? Someone's been paying very close attention to the things I've been saying. Savras, if I can give you a sub, I would. But I can't because this is YouTube. Someone's been paying very close attention to the things I've been saying. I'm really happy that someone picked up on that. DD4 opponents double speed and attack. Yeah. Nobody should be excited for DD4. X-Men tag, possible legendary Professor X? No. Trust me, they're not going to give 20 characters that have been in the Uncanny. They're not going to give characters a tag that have been in the game and then be like, and you can get a legendary with them. Like, that's not going to happen. Remember, they forced you to use Black Bolt because they knew people would unlock Ebony Maw without him. They aren't going to make us punch a guy in a wheelchair. It's facts. All the X-Men. Spend months... the blog said X23, shouldn't Negasonic. I believe more than just X23. I think the blog specifically said, for example, X23. But that's it. So. We're almost ready. So let's Onslaught Legendary? God, I wish. Let's bring it down. The lessons learned. Very simple. The mistake as a free-to-play player I made was going for a 6-star Star-Lord. Should never have done that. The second I finished... I actually might make an infographic for this to kind of show off the store priority of who to farm, if you want to follow my method. And then if you don't want to follow my method, you can just do whatever you want, because I don't care what happens to you. But it'll be like Arena... farm to 5, farm to 5, farm to 5, farm to 5. And then, like, Blitz right now is like, there's 4 characters, or 3 or 4 characters you farm, and then it's just like open Blitz orbs, it doesn't matter. Raid is like, there's 3 or 4 characters you have to farm, and then open Raid orbs, it doesn't matter. You know? Arena is like 6 character priority farm, and then do whatever you want. No one can stop you. War Store is like, characters / gear, you know, like gear is the most important thing you can buy out of the War Store at all times. That is fact. Just some guy. Store priority infographic, yeah, that kind of thing. I'll pop one of those off. But again, I wanted to make sure it was right. Like, dude, seriously, another thing I learned, number 2, Blitz orbs and Raid orbs suck, and people who still tell you to open them are stupid. Not people who open them. Because you're ignorant. Ignorant means you don't know. You are stupid if you tell people to open, like, Blitz orbs and Raid orbs. Because character shards aren't equal. Like, they're not. Like, you can't say that 5 Luke Cage shards are worth the same as 5 character shards that unlock a legendary. Like, it's not fact. Like, you're wrong. You can't say that 9 character shards for 900 cores is worth the same as the 5 character shard, of course, whatever, raid credits, as the 5 character shards you need towards, you know, Sinister Six, or towards Magneto, or towards Nick Fury, or towards Phoenix. Like, I would argue that hand sentry shards are worth 0, and all unlock characters are worth 5. To be fair, you kind of need to open Blitz Orbs now to get 5-star Domino to get Doc Ock. That's not to be fair. That is not fair at all. Because no one needs to get Doc Ock. Because he's not a legendary that helps you. He's just a legendary. And again, I did say, there's like 4 or 5 characters you farm, and then you open Blitz Orbs. So, there is no to be fair there, Diego. There's nothing fair about what you said. Blitz Orb, starting the game, Blitz Orbs do not help you. Raid Orbs do not help you. It doesn't matter. How much is Merc Sniper off the War Store worth? If they had a War Store Orb, I'd still say not buy that. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. I know. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you need to target farm. It's Mantis, Rhino. Let's see. I'll do it right now, but I'll make a graphic for it. I don't like doing graphics because graphics change a lot. Mantis first. Yeah. Mantis, Rhino, Toad, and then after that happens, none of it matters. None of it matters. Yeah. None of it matters. You don't need to farm Spider-Man. You don't need to farm Kree Noble. You don't need to farm any of these guys. Once you have the characters that unlock a legendary out of the Blitz store, rip open the Blitz Orbs. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have a thing. Doesn't matter if you have Strife. Just rip open the Blitz Orbs. Because now the efficiency line costs up. Farm Ant-Man for MODOK, right? Oh, God. That might be true. To be fair, that Ant-Man might end up adding on this list if that... You have to remember the most important thing. It doesn't matter where Ant-Man's legendary unlock comes in. What matters is those new characters, where they go. Like, who are you telling to... Are you telling people to farm Corvus Glaive from the Arena store on day 1, knowing that they're not going to get to Proxima for the first 6 months of play? Absolutely not. Yeah, same thing with Arena. Arena store. Let's look at my Arena right now. Right now, there's not a single character in the Arena that is worth, like, farming. The raid store. That is worth farming. So... the raid orb is worth a little bit more because I might be able to get it. If I check this in like 8 hours when it resets, I might move on. Farming Kree was a sad day. Yeah, we're done farming Kree. We're off that. Yeah, the difference is when it's important. What the hell do you need? If you're farming Cyclops before you have Phoenix unlocked, you have been led down the wrong path, and I apologize, my friend. Please come. Join the cult. Enter the light. Are we going through with Hulk and Bulk? Hulk and Bulk? Of course we're going through with Hulk and Bulk. But again, remember, next year is when this is going to happen. So, what power level do I have a team of Loki, Thanos? 150 to 160? I'd say, 7-ish. And honestly, like, most of that comes on, like, the other things. It's a good idea to save the orb for the orb event. Remember, the orb event only comes around once every 6 months. So, like, if you want to save your... I think my general rule when it comes to any resource is if the resource has value for you now, it is stupid to save it. If the resource has almost no value for you now, then it is not. Perfect example of that is premium orbs. Premium orbs have less and less value the more you play the game. As a matter of fact, I would say that as you 7-star characters, every 7-star character takes a pop off of that. I don't have predictions for the next legendaries. I don't know who the next legendaries are. I could tell you who I think the next legendaries are. I believe... I could tell you who I know is going to be a legendary character. A lot of it's the same as what I said before. The White Suit Black Widow was supposed to be a legendary character. We don't have her. Black Knight was supposed to be a legendary character. We don't have him. I don't believe Blade is a legendary character. I believe Nightmare is supposed to be a legendary character, but I don't know for a fact. Should I prioritize two? I mean, I did, Josh. And that's it. Every orb has value to you. Why do I not open gold orbs? Because I can open a gold orb or two, right? Here, get a couple gold here. But 480,000 gold, if you're a fool, I mean it, if you're foolish, you're like, oh no, I need this character to be strong. And then you're like, but where did all my resources go? And then you're like, I'm out of training materials. And if the reason why I don't run out of training materials is because I work on very specific characters at very specific times, as should you. Or spend money. If you're willing to spend money, people who spend money don't run out of training materials. I'll tell you that right now. People who spend money don't run out of training materials. I open raid orbs, I 7-star Thor, Rocket, and Mysterio like that. Exactly. There's a time and place to open raid orbs. And it's after you've farmed the correct characters to 5. There's a time and place. Raid orbs become so much better. Is Fortifier okay for Scream? Probably. She's squishy as hell. Silver Surfer is your prediction for the next Legendary? You get the first time rewards if you do a U7. If you enter a U7 the first time. But the rewards are locked to you. Happy to help, Davish. If you think one piece of garbage is worth the same as one piece of gold, then the orbs are great. Yeah. I've never run out of mats. Yeah. If you spend money, you will never run out of mats. That's a fact. If you don't spend money, you will. There's no real way to gather up raid orbs. You're pretty much forced into using the raid credits. I mean, you can look at my main account and I have 140,000. Like, I don't think it's... Like, once you get the characters where they need to be, then open the orbs up. You know what I mean? But again, is 9 random character shards for 900 worth as much as, like, gear pieces you need? That's up to you. I can't tell you what to do. But at the beginning of the game, the 3 things I said is ignore 6-starring anybody because it's not worth it. Like, just work towards your legendaries and move on to the next one. Don't open orbs. Don't open raid or blitz orbs. Don't do it. It's a waste of time. I am. Don't open raids or orb until you've unlocked the legendaries. Like, until you've unlocked whatever the legendary that you were farming in that store for anyway. So blitz store we said was 3. Raid store I think is like 3 or 4. But, you know, after that, you can open raid orbs all you want. Because then you're probably have the legendary, so you're getting more raid points because you're succeeding more at the game. So you have more credits to spend, so you can afford to open them more frequently. As opposed to at the beginning of the game when it didn't work. And the third takeaway from all of this, and this is the most important that I want everyone to understand. Regardless of whether you're spending money or not. Regardless of whether you're spending money or not in this game. Whatever is good today might not be good tomorrow. And tomorrow is very short. It's probably about a couple months from now. But the idea of character X being the most important thing in the game, you have to understand that that might not be true by the time you get to that point. Some people come into the stream all the time and they ask me, Tony, will I ever catch up to you as a free-to-play? And I say, you'll catch up to where I am right now, but you will never catch up to me. It will never happen. You won't. Even if I stop spending money, my account is too far away. You can only ever catch up to me as a free-to-play player if I stop playing. It won't. You won't. You will never catch up to me. It's fact. So stop trying to. Play the game, have fun, grow, enjoy the things you can do, and stop worrying about what the guys who are stronger than you say or think. That's what I had to relearn doing this free-to-play account. That's what I had to... That's... If I learned anything from running this lesson again, aside from, oh wow, Tony's right again, surprise. What I did learn was... I was dangerously close to being disconnected from the gaming community so that my advice was no longer relevant. And I needed to do this. I needed to see what it's like for a free-to-play player, so that when I give advice, I'm no longer giving... Well, at the end game, the only 6 characters I use are these 2 symbiotes and then the Marauders, so, like, why would you work on anybody else? I don't do that. I can't do that anymore. I can tell you that my advice now comes from not just me sitting upon, you know, under a waterfall training on the mountains. It comes from experience. And now that I have that experience, I feel like if I give you advice... I remember... No. Giobe just outed himself, and I'm gonna come in. I remember Giobe's comment. For those of you who don't know or don't realize it, I read every single YouTube comment that ever goes on them, including the fake ones that are like, you know, like random porn fucking things that I have to delete and everything. I read every single one. And I remember Giobe's first comment on mine. He was like, "You're telling people that arena doesn't matter is bad advice." And I'm like, well, it does matter. I just don't think it's as important. And now Giobe's in my stream. Like, I remember every single name that I see in this game. I do. It's just, it's one of the blessings that I've been cursed with, is I don't forget stuff like that. So I remember when I was giving certain kinds of advice, and when I said, like, listen, I'm not saying don't do well in arena. I'm just saying you can get away with being this strong because the cores don't make too much of a difference. Or, why you gotta do me like that? Well, I didn't say you were wrong. I just said, like, I told him, Tony Richards, you commented on, aside from Defenseless, you made a comment on, was it the, it was one of the, was it a team review? You commented on a team review, Tony Richards. I don't remember which team review. I know it was probably about 3 months ago. 2 months ago. Damn. Your picture, isn't your picture, oh, I'm sorry, I thought your picture was Tony Hale. I saw someone else with a picture that was Tony Hale. I'm sorry. That's you? You look a lot like Tony Hale, just to let you know. I'm Markesh. Cool. But I keep track of people, especially people that come back. You know, like if I saw you say something, you come back, I keep track of that. Could be wrong. I swear I've seen I've seen a, like, dude, I'll send you a screenshot on my Discord. Star at 6 stars will help another sequence preparing for Dark Dimension 2. I'm happy you enjoyed it. That's it. That's the takeaway. So hopefully the people who've been following along have found some success. That's my goal. I think that you can't tell someone how to have fun. I absolutely, yeah. I think... it's harder to tell people if they have fun, how to have fun. But it is possible to tell people how to find success. You just don't get to tell them that that level of success is fun, you know? And let's be clear, I've played the game for a very long time and not had fun. There were periods of the game where I was playing it at higher and higher levels than I am right now, and then even before that, and I was miserable. I was miserable being on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to start calling out war shots and marking rooms after a time. At the beginning it was fine, but I was miserable doing that. And I was miserable having to buy war packs of shame all the time, you know? Like, miserable having to buy a pack of shame because we needed to spend money in order to clear out the next war. And it was miserable looking through 23 other people's rosters with my friend Pio and my friend Herc, determining who should have what on defense. I couldn't do it. Gigi, did you check your email? Check your email, because I sent an advice to me for me to help edit something. Yeah. you're gonna find your own fun. Some people, the most fun is winning every war. For me, that's not the most fun. The rewards are funny if the process isn't. Yeah. Honestly, Don. You know Don Satori, guys? Don Satori has different fun than I have in this game. What's my Discord? It's somewhere. If you click on information, you'll see it. Yeah, of course you can. What fun do you find in the game right now? Honestly, because I'm in this, like... Because I've spent so much money over the course of time, my fun is watching people reach milestones and achievements that I did a long time ago. Like, watching people overtake my TCP is now my favorite thing. Like, people that are like, I'm at 10 million now. Like, Wiki Wolf passing me was, like, one of my favorite moments. I was, like, because we were going neck and neck, and now he's, like, legitimately a million TCP stronger than me. And I'm like, that's awesome. Because I know Wiki Wolf. I watched him grow. And I know why he's stronger than me. And it's not because he has a better roster than me. It's because he has certain characters that are high red star that he brought all the way up, you know? And, like, he's still a great player. There's nothing against that. But, you know, that's its own thing. So I have fun going into war. And honestly, one of my favorite things I do is I go... His worst... He doesn't have a 7... Green Goblin. Sorry, Mouth 30. Green Goblin's his worst 7 red. I remember... I like going into war and seeing how weak my teams can be and win a fight. Hey, Dan. How weak my teams can be and win a fight. So, if I see... Again, like, you can mention Black Order and Marauders, but, like, we have the answer. Those teams are answered, right? It was somebody else then. I forgot who it was. Who should I take for year 14? I would honestly... I hate to be the person to say it, but I don't think I'm the best person to ask for DD3 advice. Because I don't respect it. I will regurgitate advice I give from trusted sources, if that helps. I believe that Dutch Rudder and Don Satori are providing that. We're doing Hulk and Bulk, but not yet. Hulk and Bulk is going to be the name of the alliance that I create when I start my next account. Which we're going to talk about in the last 5 minutes of this video. 65, just unlock Dark Dimension. When should I start working my team for DD2? Round level 68. Can anyone join? As long as you're willing to change your name to Hulk and have the profile picture of Hulk, you can join. Hulk in bulk. So what advice for someone in between Dark Dimension 2 and Dark Dimension 3? Don't rush Dark Dimension 3. Be better at war. My advice to every single player of this game is that Dark Dimensions are milestone events, but not indicative of gameplay. The Dark Dimension 4 nor Dark Dimension 3 were end game. They're not. They're not. They're just a different stage of the game. End game is how successful you are at accomplishing the daily tasks. How well you do. If you are not able to full clear your lane in the hardest Greek raid, right? Whatever that is, alpha, beta, gamma. Doesn't matter alpha, beta, or gamma. If you can't go coast to coast in there, that's your priority. Because what happens if you move? You know, that's what's going to make you have a better roster over time. And a lot of my advice I do try to give to help people get that stuff done. But ultimately, it could go either way. So, if you can't go coast to coast in those, you know, complete any node as it comes up, well, that gives you advice. Don't prioritize the things that don't help you do that. And Dark Dimension 3 is a one-time reward, and so is Dark Dimension 4, and they're adequate rewards. But the effort it takes to go into them is irrelevant compared to what it's going to take for you to succeed on a daily basis, but a weekly basis, at a monthly basis. Sorry, had a hiccup like boiling in there. So why is it that whenever someone's like, Tony, I just unlocked Ultron, what do I do now? I always tell them war teams, because war teams give you blitz teams, and all of that helps you get new characters and resources that you weren't paying attention to. And the more you do in blitz, the more the war attacks you can buy, and blitz and war defense, boosts you can buy, and the more attacks you win in war, the more war credits you get, the more gear you can buy in the war store, let alone characters if you need them. Wait, someone asked me another question. The Christopher Willis, the point was probably not to do the aim start. So the problem with the aim start is incredibly simple. AIM is a very competent team. AIM is very good in the early game. AIM is mediocre in the middle game and mediocre in the end game. Mediocre is the best possible way I can give them that word, because they're not worse than that, but they're not good. That's what AIM is. And as someone who's used AIM since the day they came out, with the rework since Graviton, I could tell you I was excited for them, and they fell short. The reason I don't think aim start matters for a free-to-play, specifically for a free-to-play player, is because the effort it takes for you as a player to obtain those characters has a cost, and the cost is more great or greater, I was going to say more dramatic, is greater than the effort that you can make or the growth you can have with those teams versus somebody else. That said, I think that the $20 AIM offer is the absolute best opening offer you can buy in the game because of what I just said. Because the AIM character farm is what makes them useless. But having the AIM characters and using the time, effort, and energy to farm meaningful characters is not the same conversation. So should I farm the War Store first? On this account, I didn't spend a single war credit until I had like 40,000 banked up, because I was saving a lot of war credits for gold gear, because that's what I wanted to do. Who you farm in the War Store first is dependent on what the characters around you are. Yeah, I did the Hella node with the AIM characters when I hit level 70 by working on AIM. Who would I farm in the War Store first? Not Pyro, not Cable, not Nobu, not X23. I think Sinister is okay if you want to do that. I think Graviton is an okay purchase in that store. I think Carnage is an okay purchase, but again, I think it really depends on, like, you shouldn't be buying Carnage unless you have Symbiote Spider-Man, because he's useless. You shouldn't be buying Sinister early. Actually, I don't think that's unfair. I think Sif is a terrible buy early too. Carnage and Sif are terrible early buys. But there's a time for Sif. There is a time for Sif. What power is your AIM? 140. 132. Sorry. And no Graviton. So I had to use the 35k Rhino. That Rhino right there. Farm Sif just to get her out of the way? That's terrible. Terrible, Matt. That's terrible. Don't do that. Does Pyro ever get really fast? No. Sif does nothing until you can farm Hella, so why bother? What power? Yeah, AIM was easy. Yeah, I think okay, so let's look at the War Store. I wish that I could see all the characters in the War Store, but I can't because the War Store sucks. Nate hit the nail on the head. Sinister is a great character, but he's not that important early. I truly believe that spending war credits is pretty rough. I think you're better off saving them and buying gear with them. I think the efficiency for gear is a little bit better. And I don't think there's any character in the war store. But again, like I said, it really depends on where you are. I think it's silly to farm Sif early. Like, any person, even if you had the free Hela, I think, like, it was very clearly obvious from the last 6 months of me beating the piss out of Asgardian teams with the same characters all the people who had the Asgardian teams had, because we all started at the same time because we're in the same fucking arena shard. Like, it doesn't matter. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of resources. It's about 6 weeks. You should get about 800 energy a day. Jake Jones. 800 energy a day, so just do the math on that. I don't think there's a single character you should be farming in the war store. It's my opinion. You do whatever you want. I don't care. But I don't think there's a single character in the war store you should farm. I think the gear is worth more. I think it's more important to have access to gear. Keep in mind, you will get more credits as you succeed. Like, the reason you don't farm Graviton is because you aren't getting enough war credits to buy Graviton every war if you're in, like, very low silver or bronze, which is where most players will be in this game. If you are in this game and you are in an alliance that's in gold and you've been playing this game for less than 2 months, you are being carried in war. You are being carried. That's it. You're being carried. Doesn't matter if you're helping. It doesn't matter if you're capable of. You're being carried. That's not... Dio, that's true. Like, you could buy Nobu if you're close to Phoenix, but Nobu also has a node, so that's fine too. I really don't think... I don't think the first 4 months of the game you should even begin looking at the war store for characters. But again, like I said, if you got Symbiote Spider-Man, Carnage makes sense. If you have if you bought the AIM pack, Graviton makes sense. If you have Emma, then it kind of makes sense to get Sinister. But it doesn't change what makes good decision good. Just because you have Emma doesn't mean you should build the Marauders first. It means congratulations on your arena team. Welcome to dog shit hell in raids. Because you're not going to have the resources it takes to succeed at those levels. That's not my opinion. Every piece of information I've seen is anecdotal. And it's always coming from somebody who also bought, like, who also is a casual spender. I put casual spender in quotes. Yeah. If you're being carried, then your input is not helpful to the community. Does that make sense? If you're, and that's not a bad thing. Like, if you say, I'm being carried, then the input you're giving is the same as if you were saying, like, all you have to do is spend $1,000 on day one. It's not the exact same thing, but it is. Like, you are now having an experience that's unique to you and not to the majority of players. And therefore, that advice is not something that can be useful, or in general. That doesn't mean it's bad, but it just means the pool of people who stand to benefit from your advice becomes dramatically lower. And the people who don't know that they don't stand to benefit from your advice, or your anecdotal evidence, for lack of a better word, is higher. So of all of the people who aren't helpful, but then go, that guy's doing real well, I'm going to copy him. Why am I not doing well? All that's going to lead to is people quitting the game. And I've been fighting really hard to prevent people from quitting this game, because I don't want another good Marvel game dying. And this game had a lot of potential, and it's gotten better. I would say it's a good game now. And that's it. How's global chat work? Just players start around the same time as me? It's basically like your arena shard plus. And then they do like mergers and stuff. Yeah. Again, you could be being carried is fine. Trust me. If you have the opportunity to get carried, get fucking carried. That's my piece of advice to you. That's it. Free to play run, guys. Get carried by stronger people. Like, no, if you have the opportunity to, do it. Do it. Like, why wouldn't you? There's no honor. There's no honor in playing the hardest possible. I went out of my way to make sure that I wasn't carried. You never know, Scott Hatch. You just wake up and you get... What's your Black Order counter in war? Ultra natural. Either the Black Order, if they're really strong, or Supernatural plus Ultron, or the Fantastic Four plus Ultron. One of those. 7 million TCP. How many tier 4s does Supernatural need? Oh, a ton. A ton. A ton of them. It was like 2 on Doctor Strange. Okay, so let me think. It was 2 on Doctor Strange. It was 2 on Mordo. It was 3 on Ghost Rider. 2 on Elsa. And, of course, all 4 on Ultron because we're not using... what's her name? So... Have you tried out Super Sensual Team? No. And now I'm afraid to ask. My Marauders on defense and Symbiotes on offense are only real 2 contributions to my Alliance War. Dude, pull your Marauders on defense. Just use them on offense to beat up other Marauders. Which did you tier for, Marauders? Stun and passive. How will we counter Doom? You guys want me to do a live YouTube video right now? You want me to, on YouTube stream, record a live YouTube video? Of how to counter Doctor Doom? I'm gonna do it. Alright guys, for those who aren't following me on YouTube, like literally 30 seconds at the end of this video, I will upload another video on how to counter Doctor Doom with the clickbaitiest title you've ever seen. Okay? We're gonna do it. It's gonna be like probably a 30-second video. All right, we're going in. All right, that's what I'm doing. So let's bring it. So first of all, one thing I do want to say before I draw this series to a close, is that I will be doing another one. So the next series, I have 99.9% sure what I'm going to do. It's going to happen next year, early next year, within the first month or 2 of the year, probably February, March, sometime like that. I'm waiting for one specific thing before I kick over. Number 2, it's going to be a spender series where I try to spend between $50 and $60 a month. And the reason I chose that number as opposed to $10 a month or $50 a month or $1,000 a month is because that is the exact price of a brand new game. For that much money, between $50 and $60 a month, we'll call it 55, you can buy a brand new game, either for PC or whatever, and it'll show you. Every time I make a purchase, I will explain it. I will explain why that purchase was worth the money. But because I cannot bank money. Like if a month passes by where I didn't spend all of it, that money is gone. The reason why it's going to take me a little bit is because I'm trying to gain the capital to do it. And obviously you guys know me, I don't like beg, borrow, or steal for donations or anything like that. But I do have a Patreon. So if you do want to donate for that or be a member of sponsored on Patreon, you're more than welcome to. You could just say like for the Patreon. And then as I'm doing the series, there will be an end card that has all the patrons who made it possible. So I am saying that there is that is an option, but I am looking for outside too to be able to sponsor it because I'm not making so much money as a content creator that I can afford to create a second account that I spend between $50 and $60 a month on, in addition to my current account that I currently spend like $500 a month on. I'm not quite there yet, guys. But that is where it is. So that's what the next stage is going to be. I will still be, of course, releasing YouTube videos every week. Now I'm gotten a little bit more of a cadence, and all of these extra stuff that I've been talking about, like a series reviewing other games, because I'm not going to be doing this game. Remember, this game did take, or the free-to-play account did take about an hour or so a day of my life to play for the last 9 months. So now I have an hour or so of play of a day of not farming, so I'm going to make a little bit more YouTube videos and stuff like that. for that effort. So I'm going to do my best on there. And I realize this to that. Basically, if I ever say, like, I have a Patreon, I have a YouTube, it's literally Tony Scungili. / Tony Scungili is everywhere you ever will find me. So if you see me anywhere, copy, paste it, / and then Instagram, Facebook, whatever, you'll find me there. I have a hard time asking for money. I don't like that thing, you know? Like, I don't like that. That's the one part of this industry where I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do content creating. I don't like having donation bars. It feels skeevy to me. I don't hate it. I support it. I think it's right. And I think that I will donate, and I'm cool with anyone doing it. It's just a personal, like, you know, it just irks me a little to do that. I don't know why. But now I want to say the most important thing. Can I do a final review of where you are? Yes. I want to say, that's what I'm doing right now, actually. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Like, you guys are cool. Because you guys, some of you followed me from Twitch here, and I appreciate you. Some of you guys just dropped in here, called me a dick, and was like, all right, he's not really a dick. Like, he's actually a dick, but it's playing a character. So I appreciate you guys again. Asking again, congratulations, Alexander. Really happy you can copy and paste. Hey, Tony, your videos have gotten me Ultron 75. Jesus Christ. Good job, man. What next? Prepare for DD3. Raid war teams. I did say that, by the way. Alexander. That was literally the conversation I was just having. Was like, war teams. Go straight to war. Be better in war. Get more war points. Buy more war stuff. Get more value. You should ask for donations, brag about your account, act douchey, and insult your fans. All right, can you guys please donate here? My account is dope. I don't know how to act douchier than I normally am, so I apologize. And insult my fans. You smell like poopy. Am a tier 4 priority. Special ultimate. Nothing else matters. But I do appreciate you guys. Thank you. So real quick, the final line. So we're done on working on these characters. So where does the future of this roster go? Right. This is the end. What would I do from here? In regards to building up for war, offense or defense first? Offense, always. I would recommend you build up teams that are good on defense and offense, like AIM or Asgardians or Marauders or you know, anyone like that, because then as you start working on like your Brotherhood or your Fury Shield or whatever team you end up working up, you can, like, once you get 8 of those teams, you can move one to defense. War is won by winning attacks, not by holding defense. When war is won by winning defense, you're at a different stage in war. If you are not currently full clearing your alliances, then there's no reason for you to worry about what your defense says. Or do you focus on what they have? No, I think once you have 5 stars, you'll be fine. Here goes the hi YouTube. Shout out to Pa. This is the... So let me just finish this thought and then I'll answer. I'm not even going to read chat, so give it a second. Have dropped off dramatically in defense? Correct, but they're still good on offense. So where I plan on going, right? Let's see. Looking right here, I obviously don't really need Captain Marvel for much more than I'm currently using. So it looks like I'm probably going to try to shore up 2 things. The final stages of Hela, the farm for Hela, and the symbiotes, right? So I have Venom. He's somewhere around here. Obviously, it's going to take me a while to get Scream and Anti-Venom up. Unfortunately, but it, you know, that is what it is. My AIM team was the most recent team I decided to bring up. My Sinister Six team is more than adequate for what they need to be doing right now. Because I just unlocked Emma, I might start looking at the Marauders as a team. Yeah. I actually may, seriously, go ahead and finalize the Defenders a little bit. I might bring them all to about 20k. This way they turn into a decent Blitz team. I'm ready for Magneto, which is a built-in team on its own, right? So I will probably make sure that the Toad, Blob, and Pyros that I have are also roughly 20k, so I have 100k that. Because I advocate for everybody to bring teams up in 50k increments. Like, increments. Like, 50k, 100k, 150k. Because it sounds like a lot, but realistically, it's always just a very small amount per character. So if I'm at 100k, it means that my entire Brotherhood team is 20k. That's reasonable. To go up another 50k, I have to bring him to 30. Well, I could bring him up. I could put more tier 4s into him. I could bring his level up. I could put some gear into him. I have ISO 8s now that make it a little bit easier to bring that up. So it's reasonable to see things as 50k. You know what I mean? And that's the case. I am gonna kind of be paying attention to certain things, like when I should shift to using Shuri. Right now, Minerva is still more than adequate for anything this account would do. And again, keep in mind, this is not my account anymore. It will be given to somebody else. I have to be secretive about that because apparently, if I give someone an account, it is against the policy, and that person may end up with the account banned. That's why I'm giving it away and not selling it, so no one ever feels like anything there. But I'm also being secretive about how it's going around, so it doesn't actually matter. But as far as the guys who are up here are concerned, I'm going to keep using them. Symbiote Spider-Man, Hela, Carnage, Star-Lord, and Minerva is adequate. My next replacement for Star-Lord could be a lot of different characters, but it's probably not going to be anybody until I unlock Black Bolt. Yeah, my Carnage is only 3-star, by the way. You know why, right? Because I never farmed him. I didn't farm him for 1 day. I just unlocked him. This is the team that beat Dark Dimension 3. Two. I always say that. Actually, I did use all of these characters in Dark Dimension 3 too on my other account. Thanks for reminding me that. Including Star-Lord. Because he's 13 for no reason. 135 in 9 months from Orbs. Yeah. More or less. I'm serious when I tell you, you have no idea how much... Like, how do you think I unlocked all these characters? How do you think Deadpool was unlocked? I didn't farm him. I didn't farm Ronin. I didn't farm Elsa Bloodstone. I didn't farm Merc Riot Guard. All the things you see here are from the game. And that's why I tell you, there's a reason you can take a break. You don't have to target farm things that are better later. Because all of the value you get in that stuff, you're gonna unlock the characters. And once they're unlocked, you have the option to use them. And that's relevant. Hawkeye's right here. And one day I might care about him. That day and today. Kree Royal Guard is 4, and Kree Reaper's at 2. You know? None of these guys were targeted. No, here's Swarm. I got this many shards from his event that I didn't care about. My highest Red Star character in this account? That's a good question. Let's find out. I have non-unlocked characters at... I think I have a 5-star Daredevil. Hold on. I have a 5-star Daredevil. I have... I think I have another 5-star somebody. I don't remember who. I think some of the unlocked guys... No, they're all 4. Yeah. It's Daredevil. Kree Reaper, was she 6? Colossus was 5, so I have 5 stars. My highest star is a 5. Who should I farm once my Sinister 6 is a 5-star? Whatever it takes to get Magneto. Jake Jones. 5-star Coulson? Yeah, so 5 stars are my highest star. I don't have a 6-star or anything like that. Who would you use for 674 villains node on this account? So, I'm sorry, global nodes? One, two, three, four, five. Yeah. None of these guys really stand out. Falcon's good. Shield Security and Medic are okay. Shuri is... I might not use Medic if I use Shuri. Probably use Psylocke for a little bit of controller vision. Something like that. How'd you get Ultron? I beat Dark Dimension 2. For Magneto, I'm using Wolverine, Jugs, Blob, Mystique, sounds great. Yeah, everyone gets Wolverine. So my DD run was here. This is all I needed for Symbiote Spider-Man. This is all I needed for Hela. This was a mistake. I actually had 0 tier 4s in Star-Lord, and I will continue to. Oh, she's not here. Sorry. Oh, this is global, right? Or it's sorting it. It's sorting it wrong. Yeah, it's sorting it by the wrong thing. Minerva has 0, and Carnage, I put him here. Ultron. So, okay. So here's Ultron. Say hi. And here's the characters I use to unlock Ultron on my free-to-play account. And then the last 3 videos I came out with are the 3 days of me doing it. Should I tier 4 IW? Special and Ultimate are okay. They're like really good. Those are the only ones that matter. Ultron 6-star characters in DD2. Yeah, no, that's just wrong. Oh, it's called the Focus 5, Alexander. You should never have more than 5 characters. Specifically, it's about energy. Conservation of energy. So if there's 5 characters I'm working on, and now that we have favorites, I can do that. We'll do 1... we'll do 2... We'll do 3... We'll do... who else is on this list of characters I care about? 4. And I think there's only 4 right now, but I could probably find a 5th. So, Biogear is now split between these 2. The reason it's Focus 5 is you get... Of your energy... Thanks, Vodrick. Of the energy you get a day, 600, right? That's enough for you to spend that on nodes. Ignoring your credits or your currency or anything else like that. All the challenges are done, yeah. I'm farming, like, my first energy for the day goes to her. So that's the first energy I get. The first 100. The second 100, or actually 60, goes to him. So now I have 160 energy spent, and I focused on this character. Then I'll farm Venom. And whether it be with cores or the energy that comes up, I will farm him. That's, what is that? That's 260. And the 4th character I'll farm is Emma. Now, I can't farm Emma with energy, so now we move to the next pivot point, which is gear. So I'm focusing on these characters. Well, these 2 take bio gear. So after I farm the shards on these characters, which is easy, right? One time, I'll decide which one of them gets the gear. And I might work on them. And I might work on Punisher to give him a little bit more gear, which I can do anytime. Or I might say Emma's more of a priority, and the rest of my energy for the day goes into farming the nodes that give me energy gear. When you have 10 or 15 characters opened up, you're spreading your game too far out. You're trying to work on too many things. You're not going wide. You're going flat. Going tall means that you work on very few characters at the cost of other things. That's why going tall is bad. Going wide is working on characters in drips and drabs to increase their value in multiple different, or your value in multiple different ways. Going flat is when you invest in every character equally, and instead of having a like peak, all your line goes up at once. So sure, you may have like what's a perfect example. A flat roster looks like this, where like all the characters are down here and they're like this, and then you check out, well, there's a reason I bring most characters to level 20 or something. What are you asking me about, Jose? I mean, you bring Ultron into Dark Dimension 1, you'd probably want to bring other... Remember, when I say he solos it, I mean he's powerful enough to solo it. I don't mean you only bring him in. You bring in other characters whose job is to take the heat off of him. The best character in the game, if he's getting hit by 7 people, is going to die. Even a Black Bolt versus 7 people is going to die. Like, it doesn't matter how good he is. So you want... It's called fodder. This is off topic, but because Juggernaut is not a mutant. That's right. Juggernaut is not a mutant. Yeah. One of the Octessants, if I remember correctly. Someone can fact check me on that. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna do that video. So that's it. Any last questions for this account before it gets closed off and removed from my basically removed from my everything? And please, by all means, keep asking questions. Like, these videos will be here forever, Next year. Andrew, next year, I'm level 70, the Asgardians are 130, and my Marauders are 90k, and my Symbiote at 70k. Is that flat? No, that's fine, Sedge. How many legendaries do you have unlocked? Any chance we'll get more DD1 and DD2 rewards? No, that will never happen. Big Jugs is not a mutant, correct? No, the Octessence is the is Sidorak. If I recall. Are there more than one characters below 25% of the other team? Will Black Bolt only attack one? Black Bolt cough only affects any character whose health is under 25 when it happens. So if it's 5 characters, he'll cough 5 times. I got Starward ready for sure, AW. Okay, yeah, you should be fine, dude. You took a little bit of a different path, but I supported Sedge. You seem fine. Are you doing well? Like, how are you doing in raids? That's all that really matters. If you're not doing well in raids, that the answer's there. But if you're, like, doing U6s and harder, you'll be fine. Going on Symbiote's tier 4 Carnage basic and ult to go with this passive. It doesn't need the ult. Passive is okay, though. Passive and basic are okay. With how Legendary unlocks work in this game. Well, they're gonna get, like, Star Wars soon. We're gonna get, like, a flat, like, all characters available. Thank you. Yeah, I knew he was one of the Octessants. I just didn't know. Icon's in there, too? That's crazy. Did somebody say bio was not tech? Did somebody say stature was not tech? Who in the world could have imagined? Who could have been the person to say that bio was a stature character and not a tech character? Who? Really gonna raid 4-inch arena though. Honestly, dude, there's nothing you can do about arena. Honestly, just play to the late game. Like, play to getting Black Bolt, and you should be able to catch up in arena relatively okay. But she is a bio character. Howard the Duck next legendary. God, I wish. Why help Magneto and the other mutants? Because he hates Charles Xavier. Because Charles Xavier is his stepbrother, and his father was physically abusive towards him. More on that later. How do you like Stature's kit? It's fine. Yeah, it does, side one. When are all the legendaries being available all the time? I would start expecting to find information about that around the end of next year. Why 30k Punisher? Bio character that's cheap to access. It cost me 60 energy a day to farm him. See? It cost me 60 energy, and he's a city hero character that's cheap. So as I star him up, I will be able to accomplish more city hero stuff reliably. I'm going to unlock IW Monday. Same here. Well, this account is. Any point on working on her if I already beat DD2? I mean, she will help you in U7 as you get in if you don't have an optimal team for that, which is very unlikely. Unless you have the full... If you have the full symbiotes, you'll be fine. And also, War Offense. The Fantastic Four stands by as one of the best characters in the game. When are World Bosses coming to the game? Complete shot in the dark guess here. World Bosses, May 2021. Complete shot in the dark guess. World Bosses. What do you think about DD bonuses and the Pim Tech kits? I find it disgusting that they're advertising Pim teams that are good in any game mode, and I think Dark Dimension is the worst one because you're basically saying, hey, why don't you get these characters that are really good in one? That said, the Pim Tech team will be good in War Defense, but that's the other game mode that I think is stupid to have buffs in, so like don't... I find it deplorable that's how they sell it. Just sell the characters and let them be good. Don't... Like, it's lazy. I'm like, all it means is that one day they could be like, this guy has 50% increased health in arena, and then we're supposed to deal with stuff. Like, I hate it. Any plan for new game modes? PvP is going to replace Blitz. To be fair, just so what you know about Blitz Sim, you're not winning every fight you sim. You're going to be losing about 40%. Here's Pim Tech so they can get hit when... No, they're going to have a lot of dodge. You'll be fine. Or just design a good game mode. That's a good option too, real. Any idea what the bonus is? Second blue tier of ISO 8s? I have some idea. So the second tier, the blue tier of ISO 8s is supposed to continue the path of the current bonuses, but add more. So like Fortifier will stop being about just shielding himself and start being about shielding other people or giving other defensive stats. Because it's called Fortifier and they're only fortifying themselves. Wink, wink. Healer is going to be a little bit more active as it comes to that. Striker is just going to be damage, again, as is tradition, but it's going to increase that. Skirmisher is going to add other abilities as you move on. I heard they were adding new ISO 8 classes. That said, I can't confirm or deny that. And I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. But ISO 8 Blues should be around March. When you say PvP will take Blitz place, you mean... no. I mean, it... okay. So I actually don't know what the rewards for PvP are, but I know that where we used to have to Blitz to do bullshit every day, we're now going to have to PvP. That's what I do know. Yes, I believe you'll have to have 5 green to get to blue ISO 8, which is why I'm telling people, don't do it now, but come, like, next year... After you've had enough time and all your teams are at ISO 8-3, that's when you could start bringing up the guys you care the most about. If that makes sense. It's not that important, Alexander. The only node that matters is the node you need to farm. So, I still to this day on my main account have nodes that I haven't 3-starred because I've never farmed them. That's what the World Boss is of Alex, except it's a little bit more than just the Alliance. Are they going to mirror Blitz from game? No, you're just not going to care about it anymore. They've already they're done fixing Blitz. Like, it's now just what it is. We're never seeing another change. They might change the store, they might change the credits, they might use milestones for it, but they're not going to change it anymore. There is some credibility to the idea of Spider-Man 2099 coming out. I will say that. There is some credibility to that, but a new team? No. basically, if somebody is speculating, I would always recommend track that. When someone says, this looks like something that's going to happen, if they're wrong, that's a strike. Like, how wrong they have to be is how long it goes. Tony should put Fantastic Four on offense or defense. Offense. They're better on offense than they ever would be on defense. Do you transition into U7 when you no longer benefit from T2? You transition into U7 when everyone in your alliance can do it without spending raid heals. And it's a slow transition. You don't just go from U6 to U7. You do U6.5, U6.5, and then you do a U7 node, see how far you can go. And then you do U6.5, U6.5, then you do U7 node. And once you can 100% the U7 node easily, you make the swap. Can some people get unlimited strikes, it just seems? That's fair. You're about... it's going to be a team of characters called Spider-Man, and then a name in parentheses. That's a little spoiler for you. When Toxin comes out, who does he replace? Venom. Or Scream, depending on what you're doing. There's a reason Scream was the giveaway character. Hint, hint. Fantastic Four Namer on offense and Fantastic Four She-Hulk on defense, but yeah. Fantastic Four plus She-Hulk on defense loses to Fantastic Four plus Namor on offense, so, like... Guardians for Hero 7-1? Can you use Guardians for Hero 7-1? Your Guardians team literally never has to overtake like 150 to 180k power. So like, that's not even 40k a character. You know, like 30-something k a character should be more than accurate. No, you're 100% right, Alex. Not even. I'm just saying like, that's the kind of lineup. Silk would be good in the Spidey team. I've heard nothing of Silk. I've heard about Spider-Gwen, but that's not really the... No, but they figured out they could make a shit ton of money off of Spider-Verse characters, so they just keep releasing more and more. Yeah, it's City for 7.1. So for 7.1, I use Symbiote Spider-Man, Miles, Punisher, and then actually, I didn't use all 5 characters, which is kind of funny. The first time I tried to bring in Miles and, where is it? Ghost Rider, and he was too weak, so I just used Ms. Marvel, Punisher, Symbiote, Spider-Man, and Miles, and I won the fight. You don't need to use 5 characters to beat a node, and you still get 3-star if you win. Do we have any more info on Greek difficulties? Sliders next year. Also, Greek Sim, or Raid Sim is not December. Raid Sim is next year, too. X-Men rework? They're going to be more interchangeable. Nothing's going to happen. A strongest SSM AV Ghost Rider can do it on their own. Yeah, you can probably 2-man it, but like, that's what I did. I just finished DD3 City with SSM Carnage Venom. Yep. If you want to know about DD3 City, those are the 3 characters you should bring up. Yes, it costs a lot, and yes, it's worth it. Who will Pimtech unlock? No idea. Do you have a 7 red in your main account? Nope. I have 12 6 reds, 35 reds, and then every other character in my account's 4 red, except 7. Next year is going to be huge. Who's to say? It's Fox next. They'll ruin something. Scopely. They'll ruin something. That means you didn't finish DD3? I finished DD3 on my main account twice. Yeah, I'm not pulling that orb. Yeah. You don't get an orb anymore, dude. You get the credits. What happens to his account? It goes away. Someone gets it, and they get to play with this. Are we getting more Sinister Six characters? Craven. I hope. Excited for Hulk and Bulk? Of course. Gonna watch Mando. Oh, fuck, Mando. Sorry, guys. I'm out. No, I'm kidding. Guys, seriously, bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being a part of this. I appreciate you guys for being here all the time, whether you're new or old. This is the last YouTube stream I will be doing. Please come by at twitch.tv/Tony Scungili, where I stream every weekday around 2 p.m. Eastern time. Sometime around there. And then random other streams at random other times. Follow me everywhere you go, /Tony Scungili. I know you can't spell it because I can't spell it, but it's easy to copy paste. Have a good night, guys. Have a great day. And thank you so much for helping me with this series, for helping get off on YouTube, and for, you know, continuing as we go. So that's it. I got nothing left. I want you guys to enjoy your weekend, and please be safe. Have a happy Halloween, everybody. And this is the now how I end all of my videos, so take it easy.